group of young leaders, and these are our donors that are below the age of 40. And it's really interesting because these are the instant gratification people. These are not the people that want to invest for a return 10 years from now. They want to do it today and see what they did. And it's been fascinating to talk to young people, particularly in that 20 to 40 age group, because they're hands-on kind of people. And if you can get them something that is very meaningful for them to do, we don't have any problems getting particularly that age group to participate.
We find, it's very interesting to me, we find there's a generation in the middle somewhere, but the young people today coming off campus are very accustomed to community service and commitment. We bring them into our intern programs. We have, when we have internship, we have a Habitat for Humanity Day where they work on a house during a 2-month internship. And then as they come into the firm long term, we continue to foster and sponsor that. So we think it is easier with the younger crowd.
And it's interesting because you create that kind of culture. What I find as I move around the community and work with different people, the leadership comes from the top.
Yes. Not
just in running campaigns, but it comes in terms of what the tone of the company feels like and what the expectation is. So it sounds like at Ernst & Young, somebody comes to work there, you don't really have to teach them because they kind of can go with the flow of the corporate culture.
They've joined us because they feel who we are, and that's who we are. And so it over time, I think we'll get that much stronger as we, continue to try to help people understand it's our responsibility to help make a difference.
Absolutely. Sarah, what is the challenge on getting volunteers?
I think in many cases, we experience the same things, that any other corporation that is a socially justice corporation where they really want to make a difference in their community. You're never going to get 100% of all those people to join and jump on the bus. But I think a lot of times it is the busyness of our lives. It's the obligations that people have. They have their own families, and we are asking for a pretty intense commitment in many cases. What usually happens is that if big brothers, big sisters, at least in our case, we do our job correctly, the relationship really takes care of itself. Our job is to bring that relationship together, and then it works on your time. But I think it's getting people to sort of dip their toe in the water, to not be afraid to take that first step to say, you know what, I think I can fit this into my schedule. We really make it easy in the sense that, especially for our site-based matches and for our community-based matches, we ask people just to include this child in your life. Just include them in the simple things you're already doing. I was thinking about this because this last weekend I spent the weekend at Freedom Park, which is a gorgeous park, with my children, just playing baseball. I have 2 boys, and playing baseball and tossing the ball around. And I was thinking to myself, I'm there already, I'm doing this, I'm going to do this already, but wouldn't it have been great if I would have been able to bring someone along who would not have that opportunity? It's just a matter of getting in my car and going and picking them up and including them in the things that I'm already doing. In many cases, the kids that we're working with, they just don't have this opportunity for what we consider to be the normal life. The same things that you were talking about with including our children in witnessing those that have experienced things that are less fortunate than perhaps we're experiencing. So I think the problem is people are afraid to take that risk, to dip their toe in the water and to say, you know what, I can do this, I can make this commitment, because we don't want to let people down. By nature, we're humans. We want to do the best job that we can, and we don't want to let people down. We don't want to accept too much. But the difference is that what I think people will find is that many times when we go and we present this story to them about we need their help, they're not thinking about what in terms it brings to them. But what I found, and I know that what you've heard, and when you've had big brothers and big sisters come and present to you, it changes our lives as adults. The impact is not just on the life of this child, it's on our lives as adults. Really understanding what it means to live a joy-filled and abundant life is in service. It's in giving. And I think that's what you're creating with your culture at your company. So I commend you for that, because that's very exciting. And we'll be talking since mentoring and being in school, school-based mentoring is something that's, high on your list. You did. I was like, yes. We'll be chatting.
Leslie, in a couple minutes that we have left, you've alluded to Kurt being dirty, seeing Kurt with his hands dirty. I think possibly we might want to say a little bit more about what that occasion was and the fact that we do this every year.
Yes, Kurt got his hands really dirty at our Season of Caring kickoff, which also coincides with our annual campaign kickoff every year. And we were doing a lot of landscaping that day. We had probably over 100 United Way staffers and volunteers that day. A lot of our campaign cabinet were out there that day, helping to put up a long fence that day for a new program that they're building. Also, digging up a lot of dead bushes. We were re-landscaping the front of the YWCA. And Kurt and his wife, so he was bringing his family out there, were both out there, probably stayed the longest of anybody there that day. And then even after he got hot and sweaty and dirty, was still doing interviews. So he did a commendable job. So anybody that would like to get involved with that is just go to our website. There's plenty of opportunities on our website to get involved, either through the Volunteer Center or you can get hooked up to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we'll get you involved.
There are a lot of people who talk to me about having found success in their lives. They've had great careers and they're very happy in what they're doing, but they feel like there's something missing from their lives, and it is that significance. And one of the things I would like to think that we as an organization can help people do is to find and nurture that significance that matches up with that success. Kurt, Sarah, and Leslie, thank you for joining me today, and through your time and dedicated efforts, you help United Way reach out and help those who need it most, and we could not do what we do without you. And to our audience, as always, thank you for supporting the United Way. If you're already a volunteer, I applaud your commitment. If you are not currently a volunteer, I encourage you to devote time to giving back to your community. Even if you do not have a lot of time, there are many ways to volunteer and reinforce the community spirit that will help us build a bright and strong future. Contact 211 United Way's information and referral line, and we will help you find the perfect volunteer opportunity. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am Gloria Pace King, and I will see you next time.
Hey. Sun shines down upon us all. The air we breathe is all the same. Don't you count your bet on anyone, yeah, 'cause only